Spring arrives on March 19th this year, and it brings with it warmer temperatures, pretty blooms, pollen, and yes, spring storms. March, April, and May are severe weather season here in Arkansas. And as always, it's our goal to make sure you're prepared before those storms hit. First, it's important to know and understand the differences between watches and warnings when they're issued for your area. A watch means that the ingredients are there for severe weather to develop where you live. Now, this typically applies to a larger area and can last for several hours. A warning means severe weather is happening now or is imminent. It covers fewer counties like this and the highlighted polygon over a shorter amount of time. The ones we most often experience here in the state are severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings. When it comes to severe weather, what could our Arkansas spring look like this year? You know, El Nino has already brought in above average rain this winter. So what about the next few months? With the answer to that question, here's meteorologist Nathan Scott.
The past 3 years, we saw colder than average ocean temperatures known as La Nina, which historically brings more tornadoes to the natural state. But now we're dealing with El Nino, or warmer than average ocean temperatures. And that's important because ocean temperatures affect the location of the jet streams. These rivers of fast-moving air thousands of feet above the ground are different depending on which we get and play a major role when it comes to our severe weather potential. La Nina brings colder air, which clashes with warmer air, enhancing the chance of things like hail and tornadoes. On the other hand, El Nino brings more moisture from the Pacific, keeping colder air at bay and lowering the potential for nasty storms. With El Nino expected to continue through mid-spring, the odds favor a lower than average tornado count, which is 37 per year in Arkansas. Forecast for 2024 is 35 to 45 tornadoes because La Nina is expected to return by the fall. Even though the count could be lower than average, El Nino years can and have produced strong tornadoes of EF3 or greater. It only takes one lone storm to leave behind the kind of destruction we saw last March. So let's hope for the best, but always stay weather aware.
Nathan, thank you. You know, it's always a good idea to have a plan of action, including a safe place to go and a kit that includes important items. With advice on that, here's meteorologist Simone Thomas.
If you live in Arkansas, it's a safe bet that you know where your safe place is in your home. But it's important to talk about it ahead of another severe weather season. Well, a FEMA certified storm shelter is your best option, with basements at second best. But if you don't have either of those, remember these tips. Go to an interior room in the lowest floor of your home, avoid all windows, and try to put as many walls as possible between you and the outside. If you're in a vehicle or mobile home when a storm hits, seek shelter in a sturdy building like your local safe room. Things to keep handy include something to cover your head like a pillow or blanket. Also remember to bring your emergency kit. It should have things like bottled water, non-perishable foods, flashlights, batteries, and extra phone chargers. Don't forget first aid supplies, medications, and any important documents. Finally, keep your shoes nearby.
Simone, thank you. When severe weather hits, every minute counts. But what if you're caught outside? Scott Covert digs into what you need to know about tornado sirens and the role they play in severe weather warnings.
Tornado sirens came to be after World War II when civil defense officials repurposed old air raid sirens. Now, at the time, they were only intended to alert people working outdoors of impending danger. They were never actually meant to be heard indoors, much less when you're asleep. Now, of course, they're still used today, so it's important to understand that there's no standard for when tornado sirens are used. For instance, one local government may sound their sirens for unconfirmed tornado sightings, while neighboring areas only use them when an official warning is issued. It's also important to note that some systems are all or nothing, meaning they may sound for a part of the county where the storm won't even hit, meaning you might hear sirens for a storm that'll never impact you. There's no doubt tornado sirens play an important role in the warning dissemination process, but you shouldn't rely solely on them.
That's right, Scott. When the National Weather Service issues watches and warnings, you need to have multiple ways to receive severe weather information. Don't just count on those sirens. Make sure you download the THV11 app or text the word CALL to 501-376-1111 to learn more about Weather Call. It's another way of notifying you when severe weather is in your area. And it never hurts to have a NOAA weather radio ready to go. And remember, we're the ones you can count on when severe weather strikes.